I don't know what's going to happen, but I think that both sides, irrespective of comparison or no comparison, both sides will try to torpedo the whole thing. It's going to be very complicated things, probably because it's difficult situation on the ground and it's difficult, of course, conflict, historic conflict, not only in Gaza but in Gaza and the West Bank, and all the Middle East in general.
I know it's quite rare on these days that a prominent Palestinian and an Israeli appear together, but this is the nature of our partnership, which wants also to remind everyone that there is a chance for partnership between Israelis and Palestinians, and that we have to work hard in order to promote it and to strengthen it, and that's what we are trying to do. I think that the event last night was interesting, somewhat different from the kind of presentations made by president and the prime minister. I mean, the whole setup. But the bottom line is that there is what seems to be a possible understanding, quite yet vague, if I can say, not explicit and not final, of an understanding about the ending of the war in Gaza and some expectations, which I think are at least within the context of what was said today, yesterday, is somewhat out of realistic framework for peace and dramatic change in the entire Middle East and so on and so forth. What we really have here is a possible chance to end the war, which is what I have been talking about. And I think, and Dr. Al-Kidwa here will be able to comment on that. We have signed a statement on the 17th of July 2024, which is more than a year ago. And all of the elements of the Trump plan of yesterday are already indicated in what we have published and tried and presented to the international community more than a year ago, which of course raises the questions: why did we have to wait so long in order to reach an understanding which is not yet even final, if we could have done it a long time ago? Presently, it all depends on the Hamas, and I hope that the Hamas will agree. I'm not certain that it will happen, unfortunately. I think that there are serious questions here. But if indeed it will happen, then if the war ends and the hostages are returned and Palestinian prisoners are released according to that plan, the 200 and the 1,700, so on, according to different categories, and an interim security force is organized to take over Gaza and allow Israel to pull out gradually, but ultimately completely from Gaza, this is a huge step forward, which we all have to be happy about, and only regret that it came so late when it could have been done much earlier, as I said. And I think that most of us should be proud of the fact that we talked precisely about this: the interim security force, the end of the war, the return of the hostages, the release of the prisoners, the appointment of a governing body which is made of commissioners which are not part of the workforce of the Palestinian Authority today, are, however, recognized by the Palestinian Authority, which is at a very broad framework, is part of this process. So I am hopeful. I'm not confident. I think that this is still remains to be seen whether the two extreme elements, and I don't compare between the two, the Hamas on the one side and the partners of the Netanyahu's government on the other side. As I said, I don't draw comparisons between them. This is a terrorist organization. They are a group of thugs and messianic thugs, which are threatening the foundations of the values of the state of Israel. Seems to be against the agreement. Now the question will be, who will be against first, and how it will impact the possible implementation of this process. Let's wait and see.
Hi, I'm Pat Morrison, one of the hosts of America at a Crossroads. If you like this video, don't just watch. Head over to our website where you can subscribe for early access to new programs, see our upcoming schedules, and connect directly with our guests in our weekly live streams. Thank you for watching.
Okay, thank you so much for your opening comments. Dr. Al-Kidwa, I will turn it over to you for 6 minutes.
Good morning, Berkeley. Good morning to all of you, and thank you all for the invitation and for being here. I think that is very important. Of course, as Ehud Olmert said, had it been for us, probably we would have reached a peace agreement long time ago. And what we have done shows that it is possible, and not only it is possible, but we don't have other choice. We have to go for something like that. Now, let me begin with a few words about Oslo, because this is the title of our meeting. Oslo has been very important political development, and it could have developed in the right direction. Unfortunately, in retrospect, one could say that the agreement itself, the DOP, is badly written. I went lately and took a look, and frankly, it's really bad. Structurally, I could point out to two main problems. One is the absence of anything with regard to the cessation of settlement activities, which is the antithesis of making peace. And the reason for that, I think that we are the people who live outside the Palestinian territory did not understand the complexity and the importance of the matter. And the second structural problem is the absence of the definition of the end result. We didn't know where we are going. The Palestinian side thought that it is a given that we are going to a Palestinian independence, but of course, nothing like that was written in the agreement. So structurally, there are two very important problems that caused, I think, the failure of the agreement. But in addition to that, of course, came the performance of both sides, the right-wing successive Israeli government that made sure that the agreement is killed, or the agreements with S are killed, and the sloppy and miserable kind of performance on the Palestinian side that also caused lots of problems, in addition to actions taken by organizations such as Hamas, including the suicide bombers, things of that sort that caused all kind of problems. So in a way, it's not surprising that the agreement did not succeed, but at least it's something that could have been successful. It's something that we should study and learn lessons from. And that takes me to what happened yesterday. Yesterday, frankly, similar to what Ehud Olmert said, I'm not sure about what happened yesterday. I think I'm a bit ambivalent about this. There are many gaps. There are many things that need still to be negotiated. There are things that would allow those who are against making peace to torpedo the whole thing on the way, and that's a very dangerous thing. But there are some positive things. The most important positive thing, I would say, the engagement, the serious engagement of the President of the States of America. So finally, the gentleman decided that it's time for him to engage and put his weight behind the process. And that in itself, of course, is something positive and something that could help leading the way. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think that both sides, irrespective of comparison or no comparison, both sides will try to torpedo the whole thing. It depends who will come first. Yes, absolutely. But I don't think that this is going to be small things. It's going to be very complicated things, probably because difficult situation on the ground, and it's difficult, of course, conflict, historic conflict, not only in Gaza, but in Gaza and the West Bank, and all the Middle East in general.